Hello.
Welcome back to our channel. We get asked a lot about why we changed Adeline's name from McKinley to Adeline and how we named Adeline and just all sort of that kind of thing, everything about her name. And so we thought that we would just make a video explaining everything and answering all of your questions. So if you have been here since before we had her, we were going to name her McKinley Grace, and we were really set on that. And the story of how we kind of named her was I've had this like list of baby names since I was like a little
top
girl.
10.
Yeah, I have like this list of baby boy names and baby girl names, and McKinley and Adeline were always on that list. And so when we found out, we didn't think that we were going to have a girl, so we didn't really put that much thought into it. We kind of just picked our boy name and didn't really, we had my list, but we didn't have like one that we really wanted or one that we felt was right if she was a girl. And then we found out that we were having a girl.
And we were like, oh, and now we gotta figure that out.
Yeah, so we went back and forth between a lot of names, but the last two were Adeline and McKinley. Adeline one was our second, and the reason why we didn't pick Adeline in the first place was we just felt like she was more a McKinley. There wasn't one that we liked more than the other one. I just felt like she was more of a McKinley when I was pregnant with her. And so yeah, we named her McKinley Grace. Well, we didn't officially name her. That's what her name was when I was pregnant. And then when she was born, I just didn't feel like she was a McKinley.
Yeah.
I didn't know what she was, but I didn't.
She just didn't look like McKinley.
You thought that she still kind of did. Everyone was like, you're crazy.
She had dark hair. And for some reason, McKinley just fit dark hair. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's why I felt like she was a McKinley, because when I was picturing her when I was pregnant, I was picturing like dark hair, dark eyes, and so that's why she fit more of a McKinley. I picture an Adeline like a blonde-haired, blue-eyed little girl. And so when she came out and she had light hair, and I know that a lot of them have blue eyes, but she had like blue eyes, and I think that they're definitely going to stay that way too. She just didn't feel like a McKinley. And so we decided that we were gonna go on the hunt again. And Brendan was really frustrated with me because he was like, can't we?
It took us a while to pick McKinley.
Yeah, and he was like, can't we just like go back to our original set of names that we liked? And I was like, but what if there's one that that I haven't even seen yet? So I didn't go back to just my original list. I like went on the internet again.
Yeah,
I went through all of them.
Girl baby names.
Yeah. And so we came up with some new ones. We looked at our original list, and I just really wanted to make sure, since I had already picked a name and then not gone with it, I really wanted to make sure that it fit her. And so I will read you guys some of the names that we had in the hospital, and our family was frustrated with us. The hospital staff was frustrated with us. Everyone, every single time that like a nurse would come in, they'd be like, so have you named her yet? I was like, no. And actually some of the staff came up with a list of baby names. They sat down and had some fun writing some baby names for us. And that was really sweet, but we didn't go with any of their names, but that was very sweet. Some of the names that we had picked out, like that we were picking from, obviously McKinley, but we didn't really think that she fit that name anymore. McKenna, Adeline, there was Dixie, which we mentioned before. I think that there's more. Mackenzie, Kinsley, Hadley, Blakely, Brayley, Addison, Lainey, and Harlow. And we just couldn't agree, or it just didn't feel right. But we kept going back to Adeline.
Yeah.
And so finally, on literally the last day that we were in the hospital, we had to make we didn't have to make a decision before we left, but it would have ended up making things a lot harder.
Yeah, it would have been stressful with insurance and everything. Yeah,
with insurance and the Social Security, we would have had to like do it all ourselves, and the birth certificate. So like, what, like 4 hours before we left the hospital?
Yeah, it was like at noon or something.
Yeah, I looked at Brendan and I was like, okay, what do you think about Adeline? And he said, you know, I would really like it. That's the one that we kept going back to.
Yeah. So
we picked out Adeline, and then we had to try to decide how to spell it. And I really like unique spellings, and so we spelled it out.
You're like, how do you spell it again?
You know, sometimes I forget how it's spelled, but you know, I really do like unique spellings and unique names.
And people always spell it wrong.
Yeah.
They always.
That's okay. Everyone spells Crystal wrong and Brandon wrong, so it's not.
They always just put one N though. The two N's is kind of hard to
remember for, it's just different. It's just unique. But we spelled it out a bunch of different ways, and actually Brandon's mom's middle name is Lynn, and it's spelled with 2 N's, so that's kind of special. That was one of the reasons why we had it be 2 N's, because we didn't want to name her with the middle name Lynn, because then it would be Adeline Lynn. But that was kind of a little, you know, honoring Brandon's mom or her grandma, because it has Lynn in it. And so yeah, we decided to name her Adeline, and that's how we decided to spell it. And then it was on to the middle name, because Grace, we thought about it and it didn't really fit. And if we have another girl, we might want to go with McKinley Grace.
Yeah.
And so we thought about a bunch of different middle names. I think that was harder, because when you search middle names, like, not very much comes up.
Yeah, well, middle names can be pretty much any name.
Yeah, and I wanted it to be kind of short, because Adeline's kind of on the longer side. And so my parents, May runs in my family. My great grandma is named Maybelle, and everyone was like pressuring me my entire pregnancy to use May or Jeroy is 2 of the like family names. And so we put May with it, and it really worked, and I really liked it. And I liked the fact that I can call her Addie May. I like that nickname.
Yeah.
And it just sounds, I just really like that. And so then we had to decide how to spell that. And I like A's and E's. I like M-A-E.
Yeah.
We just decided that that looked really, I don't know, it looked good and it sounded good.
Yeah.
It took every minute to rename her in the hospital that we had, pretty much. It was really a lot of pressure and really stressful, but and a lot of people, I feel like some people were upset that we changed her name after we like announced it, and I couldn't name my daughter something that I didn't feel fit her or was right for the rest of her life if, you know, it wasn't the right name. So that's why we did change it. But that is the long story of how we named Adeline, and so now you all know.
Ta-da.
And we will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
See ya.